What's happening, everyone? It's me again, Courtney, doing my MMA predictions. This time it's for UFC 118 Edgar Vs Penn 2, which will take place on Saturday, the 28th of August 2010 at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, over there in the US of A. I'll be looking forward to this card for a while. Anytime BJ Penn's on the card, I'm looking forward to it anyway. But anyway, the main event on this card is Frankie Edgar versus BJ Penn for the lightweight championship of the UFC, or I should say of the world. Best lightweight in the world. Anyway, Frankie Edgar, 5'6", he's got a 12-1 record. He's a current UFC lightweight champ. He's got very good movement, quick hands, very strong wrestling, excellent work rate. Frankie Edgar's well, in his last fight against BJ Penn anyway, it was more of a hit and run technique what he was using, so he would do pop, 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 run, pop, 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 run. And he kept circling BJ. BJ looked like an elephant, not an elephant. He looked slow and he couldn't catch him basically. Sometimes Edgar did take BJ Penn down, which was surprising, and he got the better of some of the exchanges as well. But yeah, Frank Edgar's a decent fighter. It must be a decent fighter. He beat BJ Penn. As I said, his last fight was against BJ Penn, which he won via decision. In his last 5 fights, he's had 4 wins and 1 loss. The 1 loss has come against Gray Maynard, who also is fighting on the card, and that was via decision. But Frank Edgar's fighting one of my favourite fighters, BJ Penn. BJ Penn's 5'9", he's got a 15-6-1 record. As I said before in my previous videos, there's not much I can say about this guy that you don't already know. He's got good boxing, sick jiu-jitsu, and that's jiu-jitsu for MMA as well. And takedown defense, his balance is wicked. This guy's just bad, straight bad man. BJ Penn. His last fight was a loss against Frankie Edgar. In his last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses. One of those losses was against Frankie Edgar, the other was against GSP via corner stoppage. I think this is going to go... Basically, in the first fight, I thought BJ Penn was going to bite Edgar. And I'm still thinking the same this time. BJ Penn's going to either knock out Frankie Edgar or he's going to submit him via rear naked choke. I think Edgar's going to... He might come with a different game plan, but I think it will be primarily the same game plan he's going to come with. But I'm picking BJ Penn to win via KO or rear naked choke, and prove he is the best in the world at that weight. Yeah, BJ Penn. Next fight on the card is Randy Couture versus James Toney. MMA versus boxing. MMA versus boxing. Randy Couture is a legend, the natural, Captain America, whatever you want to call him. I just call him a straight player, pimp, hustler. This guy walks around, he's 47 years old, bear in mind, and he's walking around with these women. Must be like mid-20s, early 30s. These women are nice. And Randy Couture's a player, man. I've got to take my hats off to him, man. Guy's a player. But anyway, yeah, he's got an 18-10 record. He's been a multiple heavyweight champ of the UFC 5 times, I think it is. He's been light heavyweight champ as well. Guy's done everything, and he's still going. Makes films and TV series, you know. He's got it all. His cardio is good as well. He's got great wrestling, great dirty boxing. Very, very good strategist. Knows what to do in the fights. Has submissions in his game as well. In his last fight, he beat Mark Coleman via rear naked choke. In his last 5 fights, he had 3 wins and 2 losses. 1 loss was to Brock Lesnar, 1 was to Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira. And he's fighting James Toney, boxing champ. I'm not sure which association he's the champ of. I'm not a great boxing fan. I think he's a WBA. I think it is. I'm not sure. James Toney's 5'10", has no MMA experience whatsoever. Basically, he bullied Dana White, chased Dana White around all of America. saying he wants to be in the UFC, he can do this, he can do that, and Dana caved in and gave it to him basically. But he's thrown him to the lion straight away. I don't know how many fights he's got in the UFC, if he wins or loses this fight. But let's see what happens. He's the first guy to step up into it, as Randy Silverstone said. He's the first boxer to step up and say, yeah, I can take these guys on. Fair play to him. You do want to see his interview with Areil Helwani from MMA Fighting. You need to see that. Find that video. I'll try and find the link and I'll put it in the box below. But you need to see that interview. It's so funny. James Toney's 5'10". If it's a heavyweight fight, he's going to be a pretty short guy for heavyweight. And even the last time I looked at the videos and everything, he looked kind of round. So I think it's got to be a heavyweight because he can't cut and make 205. But anyway, this is going to go only one way. Only one way, I hope. Randy Couture's going to come out, take him down, smash his head in, probably play around with him on the floor for a bit, like a cat with a piece of string, and then slap the shit out of him. Get back to boxing. That's what I think is going to happen. But James Toney has a puncher's chance. Not only a puncher's chance, a boxer's chance. Because this guy is a boxing champ. So if he connects, it could be lights out for Randy. But I'm going with MMA all the way. All the way, MMA. Yeah, Couture via ground and pound, TKO, or rear naked choke as well. He may put it on him. Toney may give him the back. The next fight on the card is Kenny Florian versus Gray Maynard. Kenny Florian's got a 13-4 record. He's 5'10". As I've said in my previous videos, I really didn't. It's not that I didn't like Kenny Florian as a person. It was just all the stuff that's the hype around him. I didn't really like it, so didn't really like him basically. But after the BJ Penn fight and his Gomi fight, I started to like him more. He's a real cerebral fighter. He's got good jiu-jitsu, black belt. Got good Muay Thai. He's got good foot movement. Ring awareness as well. Octagon awareness because he moves really well. His wrestling's okay, but it's not great. But it doesn't need to be great for his style, really. His last fight was the one against Takano with Gomi. That was via a rear naked choke. His last 5 fights, he's had 4 wins and 1 loss. The 1 loss came against BJ Penn, and that was via a rear naked choke. And he's fighting Gray the Bully Maynard, who's 9-0. He's undefeated. He's 5'8". Gray Maynard is an NCAA Division 1 wrestling champ. He's got good clinch work. He's got decent boxing. His footwork's good as well. But I haven't watched many of his fights. But the fights that I have watched, they've been a bit boring. Especially the fight against Nate Diaz. I didn't even watch all of that fight because it just bored me. And he won that fight by decision. His last 5 fights, he had 5 wins, and all have come via decision. I'm not knocking Gray Maynard, he's winning fights, he's undefeated, but I don't think he's going to beat Kenny Florian. I don't think he's going to knock him out. I think Kenny Florian is going to stay on the outside, stay away from the takedown, and leg kick him to bits. Gray Maynard's legs are going to be black and blue when Kenny Florian's finished with him. That's what I think is going to happen. If it does go to the ground, I think Florian will get Maynard's back and submit him by a rear naked choke as well. Mataleon, I think that's what it's pronounced anyway. I think he'll get that on him and possibly put him to sleep. But yeah, Kenny Florian's going to win that fight. Next fight on the card is Damian Maia versus Mario Miranda. Damian Maia 6 foot. He's got a 12-2 record. World class good jiu-jitsu in MMA and outside MMA. He's multiple champs. I'm not sure if he's a Mundial champ. I know he's an ADCC champ. I think. I'm not sure. But yeah, his stand-up's improving. That's the only weak area I can see. His wrestling is, a bit dodgy as well, but he's improving all the time. His last fight was a loss to Anderson Silva. That was in Abu Dhabi. It wasn't really a loss. It was more of a dance-off loss. Silva giving his, well anyway. His last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses, and he's fighting Mario Miranda. I don't know much about this guy. He's 10-1. He's 6'3". He's only lost once, and that was his first fight in the UFC, and that was against Gerald Harris. He should have a reach advantage, and this guy likes to finish his fights. But I have a feeling, I haven't seen much, I think about 2 minutes of his fight. I have a feeling he has trouble with wrestlers or anyone going for takedowns. So, on the feet, he may have the advantage over Maya, but I think that Maya's going to take him down, set him for a takedown, and get him on his back and probably submit him. So that's what's going to happen. Damian Maya's going to win via submission somehow. Maybe even be a leg lock, heel hook or something like that. Next fight on the card is Nate Diaz versus Marcus Davis. Nate Diaz is the Ultimate Fighter. I think it was season 5 winner. That was a lightweight. Nate Diaz has got good jiu-jitsu, got decent hands, got a decent chin as well, because this guy can get hit and he doesn't go down very easily. This is his second fight at welterweight in the UFC. His last fight was a win against Rory Markham, that was at welterweight. His last 5 fights, he's had 2 wins and 3 losses. He's fighting Marcus Davis, who's got a 17-6 record. He's 5'6". Marcus Davis has got a pro boxing record. He's a really good boxer. His Muay Thai is good as well. He has submissions in his game. He's got really beefy arms, so he can, guillotines and chokes and stuff like that. He's really good at those. His last fight was a win against Jonathan Goulet, and that's by TKO. His last 5 fights, he's had 3 wins and 2 losses. This is going to be a pretty good fight as well, I hope. But I'm going to pick Nate Diaz to get rocked and pull out a submission win. Pull out one of his Gracie Jiu-Jitsu 209 chokes or something like that. But he'll get him somehow. I don't know how, but he will get him. But anyway, good luck to Slick Nick Osipczak. He's fighting on the card as well against Greg Soto. Andre Winner is fighting Nick Lentz. Andre Winner's going to win that fight. Nick, you better win. Make the UK proud. Then when you get back here, I can beat you up as well. But anyway, follow me on Twitter, same username, chokewho. I train at LeicesterMMA.com. Leicester Shoot Fighters. They're on Facebook. They're on Twitter as well. Leicester MMA on Twitter. Follow them. Follow my boy Jesse. You know these t-shirts. Firing. Mixedmartialmarketing.com. Check that out for all your combat graphic needs. Check him out, seriously. Also Tricoaster MMA, some of their t-shirts. You need to check out the Korean Zombie 1.5. Jesus, I want that t-shirt. Check out middleeasy.com. Check out the Cage Warrior forums if you're in the UK fighters, anyone interested in UK MMA, cagewarriors.com. Go there. Who else? Middle Easy and the painpalace.com, MMAfrenzy.com. Who else is there? MMAhitpick.com. UK MMA News. Luke, I think his name is. Yeah, check that site out. Trying to think who else. But yeah, go to those sites. I'll put some more links at the bottom if I forgot you. Or can't forget the Canadian girl, my friend Erin. ErinMcDougall.com. Go to her as well. But yeah, get on Twitter, get on something, and look at all those sites and more sites. Look at the bottom here. But anyway, I'm going now. I'll try and do a review video after the fights, which will be probably about 6 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, like, dislike, do it all at the bottom, comments. But anyway, peace.